Welcome to Pop Crime TV's The Outlier podcast. I'm your host, Lauren Conlin, and I have a truly iconic episode lined up today. My guests are Fab Morvan of Milli Vanilli, yes, that's right, and Grammy-winning music producer Damon Elliott, whose mother is famously Dionne Warwick. Now, there is a song that was created in the 80s. It's called Blame It on the Rain, but now there's been a fresh take on that song that's featured as the theme for the new Netflix show, Monsters, The Menendez Murders. So Grammy-winning producer Damon Elliott produced this song, and of course, Fab Morvan recorded it. So I think that most of you know, if you listen to my podcast, I was not a fan of Netflix's Monsters for the way they depicted the Menendez brothers. I felt like it wasn't accurate, but it was a well put together show. I can see where a lot of people would find it entertaining. Ryan Murphy does a great job of that. But what I uncovered with Damon Elliott, I was shocked. My jaw was on the ground. He lived on North Elm Drive. He lived a few doors down from the Menendez brothers growing up, and what he tells me is so fun and so crazy. So you're going to love this interview. I mean, Fab is awesome. He's French, and Damon is just, gosh, he's full of energy, and he's so talented, and I loved talking to both of them. I had the best time. So without further ado, I'm going to play my interview with Damon Elliott and Fab Morvan, and we are going to talk Milli Vanilli and the Menendez brothers. Oh, and I can't forget, for my Britney fans out there, Damon has some interesting things to say about Britney as well, and I got really excited, but I'm not going to get my hopes up. But okay, now I'll stop talking and play the interview. Hey, Damon and Fab, how are you?
Hey, good to hear from you. Pleasure.
I am beyond excited. I know it's 9:30 a.m. in the morning here, but I got to tell you guys, I've been jamming to Blame It on the Rain for the last month. So thank you so much for that. I'm an 80s baby, so I didn't know that. I was so young when it came out, and it's like this new generation is able to listen to this amazing song. And of course, guys, I've gone down the rabbit hole and I've downloaded so much more of your music. So thank you again.
Pleasure.
So I gotta ask first, Damon, I mean, what really inspired you to revisit Blame It on the Rain and give it this fresh modern twist?
I am, on the record, the biggest Milli Vanilli fan probably in the world,
Nice.
and Fab and I became friends, and and when I was 18, he actually probably was helping me get in some of the clubs and all the good stuff back when you're 18, right?
Yes.
So, and so basically, I'm very good friends with Dionne Warwick, who wrote the song, and we're doing a tribute. We're doing a tribute to her. And flipping songs, kind of reggae, right, with the reggae vibes. And so I talked to Diane and I said, I want to do Blame It on the Rain. And then I reached out to Fab and I said, hey man, how you feel about me covering Blame It on the Rain? He said, man, let's go. And then he helped me with it, all through the production and everything. And we came with the new little formula and didn't want to, because the song is so massive, right? We didn't want to lose the integrity of
That's right.
Of a hit, because a hit is a hit is a hit, And that's how it happens.
True, 100%. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, Fab, did you know that the Menendez brothers were such big fans of Milli Vanilli?
Well, let me tell you this. I used to live about literally 4 minutes away from where they lived. So I lived between Bel Air and Beverly Hills, and I used to pass their house all the time. And we used to hang out at UCLA, used to play with the UCLA soccer team. So I guess Milli Vanilli was the talk. 1989 was the height of our career. So I can only imagine that Milli Vanilli was on the radio, Kiss FM, for sure. Los Angeles was on major rotation. So I'm sure they heard it, and I know they were big fans. So so when I heard about the show Monsters, I was like, wow. And I knew Ryan Murphy has done some pretty amazing shows, and they're all been nominated for Emmys, the majority. And I was like, oh boy, that's going to create like action. And then the new generation, my goddaughter Lana out in Los Angeles, telling me in school everybody sings this song. So
Yeah.
a oldie but goodie, forever immortal songs. Like that song is a classic. It will never change. So when Damon, thought about flipping it in reggae style, it was like, yeah, man, that's a great idea because it's never been done like that. It was like, yeah, man, do it. You got my
Yeah.
blessings, 100%. And we celebrate Dionne. Without Dionne's help, this song, this song really made me as well, got me into the public eye, got me to people's ears. And, they say that people listen with their eyes, and they did that too. And
Yeah.
I'm glad that this song was part of this album with Milli Vanilli. I'm so happy because now years later, I'm benefiting from it. And the fact that the young generation is being introduced to it now, it
Yeah.
allows me it gives me more time in this show business world. You know what I mean? More
Yes.
relevance at the same time.
No, totally.
So
Totally. Damon, do you have
yeah.
anything to add to that? Like, did you know the Menendez brothers were such big fans of Milli Vanilli? I mean, I like when I watched the show, I had to fact check the fact that, I'm like, did he play Girl I Really Miss You at his parents' funeral? And he did. Lyle wanted to play that. I mean,
he did.
Yeah, like did you guys really
He
know
did.
that?
He did.
I knew the Menendez brothers.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I actually knew them. I lived at 806 North Elm growing up, which is only a block away. And,
Stop.
they were 722, and I used to play tennis. I was a tennis player, and you can fact check
Oh
that.
damn! I didn't know that, D.
Wait,
Oh my God,
Damon.
you just breaking it down. What?
Yeah, so I actually was friends with Erik, and we didn't go to the same school. I went to Hawthorne on Rexford in Beverly Hills, but they went to private school. But yeah, I did know Erik. My older brother knew Lyle, and my mom. They both have been in my house.
No.
Ate the cookies. I'm not joking. So the whole
Damon.
complete circle of this is just serendipitous. So here we are, right? I would cover the song. I linked up with Fab. Then I just happened to watch Monsters, and I heard Blame It on the Rain, and I had already covered the song prior, about almost a year, maybe 7-8 months prior to Monsters, even before we even knew about Monsters.
Right.
And so my world is, I'm literally just pinching myself because I'm like, wait a minute, the Menendez Brothers Monsters put this song back on the map 30 something years later. I get to talk to Fab and work with him and do a reggae version, which I've had a lot of success in that island reggae market. And it's just crazy how it all happens, right? With Dionne Warwick writing the song, who I work with every day. So there you go.
I mean,
serendipitous is the word.
I mean, serendipitous, but like, I'm not trying to sound cliche, but that just gave me chills when you said you lived at 6 something Elm, and they were literally
806. 806 North Elm.
Oh my
God. Corner of Elm and Sunset. Yeah.
Wow.
I wasn't there when they shot the parents. I was away. I went to military school in Virginia, but I wasn't home. But I was home that summer after, and
Wait, Damon. So did your mom call you? Was she like, I mean, I know your mom's like Dionne Warwick. I don't know how that works. If she's like, yo, Damon, did you see what happened? Like, how did you find out?
Yeah, well, no, my brother called me because he was home, so.
Yeah.
And I was, like I said, I was away in military school, so I was like, are you kidding me? We didn't say the Menendez brothers killed their parents. We said, oh my God, there was a murder on Elm Drive, and bro, the streets are shut down. So I was scared for Mom and for my brother, because we actually thought that in Beverly Hills, Fab can tell you, in Beverly Hills, it was the safest neighborhood, literally.
Totally.
Like there was no dead,
Wow. So your brother was like, there was a murder, and it turns out it was their parents, but you never in your wildest dreams imagined it was Erik and Lyle. And then I'm assuming that months later, you're still at military school and you find out that it's them. Your mind must have been blown at that point.
Well, it was crazy. I mean, and that whole time was crazy, because of that. And then of course, few years, later, the OJ trial started, and it was a whole bunch of just craziness. So yeah, I mean, I still, when I think back to those times, it was just, it was wild.
Yeah.
It's wild that everything is resurfaced now. I'm like 18
Oh my
again.
God, yeah.
Right. No, I
My
mean,
God.
Fab, your voice now, it's like, so this also sounds weird. I don't want to be creepy, but like, I'm a mom. I run a household. I always have so much freaking laundry to do. And I swear, Milli Vanilli is now getting me through all of my laundry, which sounds so bizarre.
That's lovely. Well, the thing is, when it comes to music, and we are interconnected because
Mm,
music being the soundtrack of our lives, music is life, life is music. Life also saved my life. So the fact that we are getting this major resurgence, let's not forget that we did a documentary about Milli that came in 2023, that we did the movie that people don't really know about, but because of Monsters now, like
yeah.
they're starting to like, oh wow, the young generation is starting to check it out. I look at my analytics and I see that people are getting younger and younger. I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. So
Yeah.
I'm taking advantage of it, and because of the movie, I also re-recorded some of the songs, the old song "Eddie Girl Knows True," and "Blame It on the Rain" as well. So
Yeah.
people are gonna figure it out for themselves
Right.
when they go down the rabbit hole. There's a lot of stuff to listen to, but the thing that came together for me with Damon, it's like this is just one song, but we are planning as well to just go into the time machine, which I call the studio, and just vibe. And you don't know what time you come in, you don't know when you get out, but something's gonna happen, and then we'll take it from there. Because music is what we do in the
Well,
end.
Absolutely.
guys, I have a request because I really do like Girl, I Really Miss You. Can you please do a new twist on that one and then just add well, can you add like a beat or something with like Drake or Kendrick Lamar in the middle of it? I just feel like that would be so amazing. That is my other favorite song on the show
anything,
right now.
anything is possible.
Yeah.
Anything is possible. Fact.
Yeah.
It's like cooking. Making music is like cooking. Just have to have the right ingredients, and in the end, when it goes out in your mouth and you taste, you're like, oh wow, that's right. So that means the chef did a good job, and that's what it comes down to: the chefs, the guys who making it. Because I talk about, and I listen to the words I'm going to use: not fabricated but made. So when something is made, just like an artisan, it's made with love. And
Yeah.
and the intent behind what you do is key. And for
Yeah.
me and Damon, we're grown men now. I got 4 kids. And we know the meaning of what we're doing. It's important. We're here to make people feel, to touch people with music, because music is just a healing element. You cannot touch it, but we all sure can feel it, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's the
Yes.
kind of business that I'm very happy to still be in today.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
I mean, and
Absolutely.
honestly, I'm sorry. What were you did I interrupt you? I'm so sorry.
No,
No,
I just
okay.
said absolutely.
Well, I'm just I want to go back to Fab for a second because I feel like what happened to you, I mean, it was something that we had never seen before as a culture, and now people are getting
Right,
quote unquote
right.
canceled left and right. And back in 2023, you had said, "Look, my story has never been told." I mean, it's really
That's
interesting.
right.
And so, yeah, so how do you think things have changed since all of this happened? And just for my audience who maybe hasn't really
Well,
heard your side, yeah, what can you say about all of that?
listen, the thing is that this is how much the world has changed today. Because when they were testing the documentary with the youth, with the young generation,
Yeah.
they literally were coming out saying, "What was wrong? What did they do wrong?" And that was reported to me. I was like, "Oh my God."
Exactly.
I know what I did wrong. I know what I did wrong. I'm very clear on that. But for the young generation, they don't see anything wrong with it, because in today and age, people lip sync on TikTok, they make money, they become famous, they become influencers. So
Yep.
it's like that is a very normal situation. So when it comes to labels in cahoots with the artists now, you
Yeah.
know, I mean, the game has changed to a point where, wow. But you know what? We're going to do it old school, because there's nothing like old school. There's nothing like singing to an audience live. There's nothing like it. I've been on the road for years now, 30 years. People don't know that, but every weekend I'm on the road, whether it's with a band or with another situation with tape behind, because sometimes they can't pay for me bringing
Yeah.
the whole band. But I can see when I do "Girl, I'm Gonna Miss You," or whether it's "Blame It on the Rain," whatever, the Milli Vanilli songs, people are touched. and then nothing like it. That's why Blame It on the Rain. When Damien is going to be playing, I think you have a big show coming up in Hawaii. I might join in. I'm not sure yet, but I know it's already being played on the radio over there, and people are waiting for you. I can't wait to see how the people are going to react, because when you hear the first notes, it's just magic, and that's what it is. Music is magic, and like I said, it goes back to make something, and when you make something with the right intent behind, people are going to feel it. They have invisible antennas that they all can feel, and that's the way I want to make music. That's the only way for me.
Yeah, and please.
But just to add to what Fab said is like I said, it starts with me from my perspective as being a huge fan, right? And like you, growing up on this music. So my intent was always to pay homage to my brothers. Like,
that's right.
I personally know Fab. I personally knew Rob. So it was like, for me to be able to cover whichever Milli Vanilli songs that I choose to do in the reggae vein, because it's reggae. The thing about reggae is it lends itself to covers. It's perfect for covers, especially in the island.
It really does.
Yeah. And so it just enhances. It just, like you said, it takes it to a different place without ruining the integrity of the song. So whichever song is just like paying homage. I told Fab, I'm like, dude, I'm so like floating that I get to just be a part of the whole journey, as just kind of saying, dude, I love this song so much as an 18-year-old that I now get to sing it in front of 10, 15,000 people at this festival in Hawaii, in a major race. And I definitely, it might be a surprise. We're going to try to figure it out to see if Fab can show up. And you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's going to be just fun. So,
yeah. And, I just want to add to what happened, to Fab and Milli Vanilli. It's like, I feel like when you're given this opportunity, people don't take into consideration that you don't always have a say, I guess. And it's almost like, hey, either do this or walk away from this huge freaking opportunity. And it's really difficult. And it's not a crime. You know what I mean? Like, it's not ideal, but it's not a crime. And so I do feel like people need to just stop fucking judging. Excuse my language. I'm just so sick of that, where it's always like,
And just to add to what you just said, the thing is, the youth doesn't think too much.
No, exactly.
So we don't understand. We don't understand contract business. We just see like, we want to do this, and they know how to play with the youth. They know how to contractually with the contract. They know how to like lock you in. They give you a little bit of money, and then you don't realize that you got to pay that back. Nothing is for free. And then they're like, oh, really? Oh, okay. If you want, you repay me. And then you just do that for one single, not knowing that we signed for 3 albums. That's how much we read that contract.
Totally.
Which was in German, by the way, and I spoke French and English.
Wow.
So, my God.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Well, Damon. So Damon, do you think, Damon, now this is an opportunity to possibly partner with Ryan Murphy and having you produce more songs for his shows? Because I watched quite a few Ryan Murphy shows, and listen, my opinion about Monsters is, I was upset at some of the portrayals. I didn't think it was accurate, but he does always put on a pretty decent, show, series, whatever it is. But this one was different because of the music, Damon. Do you think that you could partner up with him again and be like, yo, let me recreate some of that?
I mean, absolutely. Yeah, I am a music producer. I've worked on many, many shows. I work with Dionne Warwick on the daily, right? I'm one of her producers, one of her main producers there.
Awesome.
And so, that world is my world. So, and I am a fan of his work. So, absolutely. And it looks like, you can see the power of the 80s and the power of the 90s.
Man, big time.
Real music.
Totally.
I definitely, I'd like to add something to that, is that, when I listen, because, I'm an avid music listener, music lover, and I travel through decades all the time, and there's that period in the 80s with Foreigner and Journey, all those songs, when you listen to that, you're like, wow, like, my God, whether it's, what's the name? We Build This City. What is that? I forgot. You know that one? We Build This City.
On
all
Rock.
those melodies. You know, like
Wait,
I
who is
remember
that
Rick
again?
D's. Rick,
I,
I forgot
I
who that
forget
was.
now.
You know,
Oh, rock and roll. Yeah, it's so
Wait,
funny because
but you,
2 days ago I was just at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And my mom got inducted, and I was listening to all those
that's right.
songs, and with Foreigner and with all
Starship.
the big
Yeah.
Starship. That's right,
Yeah, that's
Starship.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I saw that
Hmm.
your mom, I saw that she got, oh, that's so awesome. Congratulations to her. And this is so funny. You guys know I
Congrats.
live in New York City, and we used to, or I used
Hmm.
to, I should say this, but I used to change the words to that Starship song. And I was like, you killed this city, de Blasio. Sorry, I hate de Blasio, our old mayor. But anyway, I thought, here, he can sue me for that right now. I don't give a shit. But Damon, when
That's
I'm
funny.
glad you guys like that. Do
Yeah.
you
Oh
think
man.
you and Dionne Warwick could like collab and approach Britney Spears again? I'm wondering about this right now. I love Britney. I hate that she won't do any new music right now, but I respect it. But
I
Oh,
just
you
think
know,
any
I think
shot?
she will. I think she will.
Yeah,
I think
Fab?
she will at some point.
I think that
Yeah.
I can't say too much, but Brittany has been in our radar and in our little circle for a while. So anything's possible. That's all I'll say.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I love
Nice.
that. Okay, that's
Nice.
great. Okay, and now don't get mad at me for this one. I have to just bring it up because it's relevant right now. Have either of
Hmm.
you ever been to, and I'm not saying behind the closed doors, but have you guys ever been to a
I
Diddy
know where you're
party?
going.
You knew it. You knew it was coming.
I
No,
wasn't cool enough
I
to get
haven't.
in. I wasn't
Nah.
cool enough to get in. So there you go.
Wait, are you both being
No, I
serious? You
never.
really?
No. Listen, I'll tell you. The first time that I was at least I used to live in New York, and I knew Diddy was doing a bunch of parties and all that. But I remember seeing him at the iHeart Radio Festival because I used to work at Kiss FM Los Angeles,
Yeah.
and I just don't know. Like he came around, and I was like, man, this dude is on something else. So I felt like, nah, I don't think that I will attend to any of those.
Mm,
It was not my thing.
yeah.
But
Okay.
yeah, I definitely been invited a few times, but never went. No.
Interesting. And Damon,
I
you said
wasn't even invited.
you never got invited. Well, that's
I
weird. I
think
feel like you would
I'll be
have.
honest. No, I think I'm gonna be so honest. I think the entire hip hop community was so afraid of my mom because of what she stood for that
Yeah.
literally, I mean, that
Right,
she
right.
said my mom outgangsted all of them. So while we grew up in Beverly Hills, my mom is very much East Orange, New Jersey, and doesn't play with her kids. So she's like, you're not going to anything. Yes, ma'am. Like I
Wow.
told you, all I was allowed to do and was to go to up the street from Beverly Hills. There was a club called Bar One, another
Mm,
one called the Roxbury, and that's where I met my brothers.
yeah.
And that was about the
That's
vicinity
right.
of about as far as I was able to go.
Yeah. I mean, Damon,
Bar One, brother. We used to.
Remember that
Yeah,
Bar
this
One,
is where we
dude,
used to
by the
go,
DJ
brother. Bar
turntable.
One. Oh, you killed me right now. Bar One.
We
You
were
took me
me
right
and
back.
Me,
Wow.
Fab, and Rob would be busting the Running Man right there at Bar
Wow.
One to
oh my
girls,
Bar
gosh.
One.
true Friday
Oh
night.
Wow.
man.
Wait, this is so
Yes,
funny.
indeed. When we
So
were in town.
you were allowed to go up the
Huh?
street
Oh,
and you
man.
were allowed to play tennis with Erik and Lyle Menendez. Got it. Okay. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, there you
Um,
go. I mean, it was part of my
We didn't go
childhood,
too
right?
far.
yeah,
Yeah,
Right.
we
I
didn't
mean,
go too far.
when you said, Damon, that you went to military school, I automatically was going to ask you, like, were you kind of like a naughty kid? But it sounds like your mom
We
was just
all
like,
were.
no. Oh,
Listen,
you
I'll
were.
speak for the entire Beverly Hills community. We were
Yeah.
all little kind of brats, and it was
Okay.
what it was. But
Mm.
I had the pleasure of even meeting, Fab, on a summer break from military school. I was,
Wow.
in home, and of course I would hang out with my older brother, because he was at the time, 21 or whatever, old enough to get into the clubs, and I
To
wasn't
get in
quite,
the
but I
club,
would
yeah.
get in, and
Yeah.
and that's when we became, kind of friends, and because I grew up in the entertainment business, even though I was a huge fan of Milli Vanilli, it wasn't on the the tip of, oh man, I'm just hanging out with you guys because you're super famous. It was not, dude. We understood each other on that level of like, hey, celebrity,
The vibes.
let's let's just hang and let's enjoy the moment, if you will. You know what I mean? So
I
what
love it.
That's right. Yeah.
I love it. Well, guys, this has been so awesome. I have the biggest smile on my face right now. I want everyone to follow both of you on Instagram at Fab Morvan and at I am Damon Elliott. You guys are incredible. I've just gone through and went on liking spree with all your photos, so please don't think I'm creepy. But thank you so much
it's all good.
for joining Pop Crime TV's The Outlier, and I am so excited to see what you guys have in store for the future.
Thank you.
More to come. Thank you.
All right, everyone. That was Fab Morvan of Milli Vanilli and Damon Elliott, Grammy-winning music producer. I loved them. Everybody go follow them. Their Instagram accounts are also a lot of fun. And I can't stop singing Blame It on the Rain and Girl, I Really Miss You. I have issues. Anyway, guys, if you like this podcast, don't forget to rate and subscribe on Apple or wherever you listen. I was so happy to bring you a fun episode today. No murder or mayhem, just great people and great energy. All right, thanks for listening. I'm Lauren Conlin.